Hello, this is Miss Murphy, and we are going to take a look at the physical features of the Middle East. Now, I know that the first thing that you are probably seeing right now is this map with nothing on it. Well, for me, it's easier for me to show y'all the physical features when you're not being distracted by the country names being all around, the city names being all around, and all of the other physical features kind of overshadowing the bodies of water. Because what's interesting is the physical features that we're focusing on for the Middle East are water resources and sources of water. So that's why, as we're looking at this map, the only physical features you're really seeing outlined and shown are the water resources. So let's get started and take a look at this. And you'll understand why water resources are so important when we get more into environmental issues and history and all. But for now, let's figure out where these different physical features are. So let's start with the Euphrates and the Tigris rivers right here. So this river right here is the Euphrates, and the river that's running parallel to it is the Tigris. And if you notice, they're separate in the northern part of Iraq. They're separate north of Iraq into Syria and Turkey. But they come together right here, right before they enter into the Persian Gulf. Okay, so how do you even remember which one's which? So here's the Euphrates and here's the Tigris. Now these rivers look kind of funky. They kind of are squirrely and kind of squiggly and all that. So for me, I think of the initials, Euphrates, Tigris, E.T. That makes me think of the alien, E.T. E.T. had some funny fingers, and he only had two fingers that were kind of bent, kind of crooked, kind of squirrely looking, kind of like how the Euphrates and the Tigris look right here. So how do I remember which one's Euphrates and which one's Tigris? I think of the initials and I think of E.T. E.T., Euphrates, Tigris, the little E.T. fingers, Euphrates, Tigris, E.T. Euphrates, Tigris, E.T. All right? So Euphrates, Tigris, E.T. E.T. fingers. All right, so since we did Euphrates and Tigris, E.T., let's move down to where they empty out, into the Persian Gulf right here. So E.T. fingers empty into the Persian Gulf right here. This zone right here is the Persian Gulf. All right. Now, it'll be easier for you to remember where the Persian Gulf is if you know which country is right here. Now, I wonder, without looking, I wonder if you know which one is right here. So I'm going to give you a second to kind of figure out if you know which country is right here. So let's see if you guessed correctly. Which country is right here? Parallel to the northeast. Parallel to the northeast of the Persian Gulf. And that would be Iran. So people who live in Iran, they are called Persians, or they're a part of the Persian ethnic group. So the reason why it's called the Persian Gulf is because, well, it's right along the coast of Iran, which is a part of the home for the Persian people. And Iran used to be a place called the Persian Empire. So if you remember that right here is Iran. This is Persian Gulf. The Persian Gulf hangs out along the coast, along the shore of Iran, aka former Persian Empire. I know that's a lot, but also remember, if you can remember this from the political maps from last time, Iran and Saudi Arabia are parallel to each other and they share the Persian Gulf. They're buddies and they share the Persian Gulf right here. Okay, so Saudi Arabia, Iran, the former Persian Empire, Persian Gulf. All right, so what about this little guy right here? This little guy right here, this is the Strait of Hormuz. This tiny little water bridge, this tiny little connection is the Strait of Hormuz. And the Strait of Hormuz connects the Persian Gulf to the Arabian Sea. The Arabian Sea is right here. So the Strait of Hormuz is a tiny little water bridge. It's a tiny water bridge that connects the Persian Gulf to the Arabian Sea. Okay? Strait of Hormuz, Arabian Sea, Persian Gulf. All right, so let's move on to the west, northwest. So this body of water right here, this is the Red Sea. This is the Red Sea right here. And no, it is not actually red in real life. And in this picture, I know you can tell it's not red in the picture either, but this is the Red Sea. And the Red Sea is right here. Now, if you remember where the Red Sea is, you will be able to find two other water features, just if you remember the Red Sea. Now, for me, you can do two things to remember the Red Sea and the two water resources. First one, you got to use your imagination for this. You got to think when you're really looking at this, use your imagination. To me, this looks like a slug. This is the body of the slug. These are the antennas of the slug. Body of the slug, antennas of the slug. So the body of the slug is the Red Sea. So what about this antenna to the right? What is this water resource right here? This water resource right here is the Jordan River. Okay? Now, if you remember from the last video, the Jordan River, this right antenna, forms the spine of the country of Jordan. So the Jordan River, the spine of the country of Jordan. Jordan River, spine of the country of Jordan. All right? What about the left? What about the left antenna? What about this one? This is the Suez Canal right here. Okay? Suez Canal. So, Red Sea slug, Jordan River. Jordan River is the spine for the country of Jordan. And then this left one, the Suez Canal. All right, so that's the first way you can remember these water resources. What about the second one? So, find the Red Sea, make a water V. Find the Red Sea, make a water V. So the right side of the water V is the Jordan River. The left side of the water V is the Suez Canal. So find the Red Sea, make a water V. See how there's a kind of a water V going on right here? Right side of the water V, Jordan River. Left side, Suez Canal. Okay? So, aside from those water features, there are many, many more. But those are the main ones we're going to be focusing on for our unit. And we'll get into a little bit more on Thursday when we're doing our learning stations. We'll be kind of looking at, you know, what's the big deal about these places? What are these different places like? Why should we care about these places? What makes them so special? And why should we care? So we're going to look into that. You'll be able to also see what these places look like. You'll be able to kind of understand why are we just focusing on these particular ones. We'll go into some more details later on when we do our learning stations. But if you have any questions or have any other ideas to help you remember where these different physical features are, I'd love to hear them. And I look forward to catching up with y'all later.